What's going on, everyone? How you guys doing? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is $3 Theater. Pardon the dust. I'm currently in the process of building a new OBS setup. This is just a temporary one, but I wanted to give it a shot today. And of course, I wanted to talk about this, whatever the hell this thing is, this DOOGIE HOWSER reboot at Disney Plus. This is popping out today from the Hollywood Reporter. I mean, at first I thought this was an April Fool's joke, because April Fool's Day was a week ago, and I thought this is kind of funny, this is kind of stupid, this is kind of ridiculous. Sure, why isn't it an April Fool's joke? Turns out it's not. It's actually something they're really working on, according to Rick Porter here by the Hollywood Reporter, and this was put out by a bunch of other reporters too, retweeted by people like Boris Kitt, who have a, they have a name. Anyway, let's find out more about this inevitable train wreck. Disney Plus is developing a reboot of former ABC dramedy DOOGIE HOWSER, MD, that will feature a teenage girl at its center. Now, right off the bat, I'm just going to tell you this right off the bat. Bad idea. Not that it features a female. I don't have a problem with that. Take the concept, retool it. Don't call it DOOGIE or DOOGIE HOWSER. Sure as hell don't use the theme music, and make your own new thing. I think at this point, people have been asking that you just make new content. We're in a global pandemic where the entirety of the entertainment industry is shut down. Why not take the time to work on something that's new instead of rehashing something that is old? But here's what we know. It says the new project has a working title of DOOGIE KEALOHA, MD. And it comes from, How I Met Your Mother, and fresh off the boat veteran Kourtney Kang, the Disney-owned 20th Century Fox will produce it. The Disney Plus project's lead character is half Asian, half white, 16-year-old girl with a genius-level intellect who has breezed through college and medical school and is now working as a doctor in Hawaii. The character's background reflects that of Kang. So it's not Emma Stone in that one movie. Aloha? Was that what it was called? I forget. I never watched. I heard about the backlash about her playing a half Chinese, half American character, and that was a big problem back then. Even she's come out and basically disavowed that particular role. But this is where we are right now. Apparently, so Stephen Bochco and David E. Kelley created the show ran from 1989 to 1993. Neil Patrick Harris, who went on to work with Kang in How I Met Your Mother, played the title character. And then Bochco's widow, Dana, and his son, Jesse, are going to be executive producing the reboot, along with Kang. Jake Kasdan, who I do like. No Neil Patrick Harris, which I think is kind of weird to put that in there. So let's talk about the aesthetics of this right now, and ultimately why this idea is going to have a great deal of pushback. I looked at my girlfriend as soon as I read the article this morning, and I was like, "Hey babe, what do you think about the DOOGIE HOWSER reboot at Disney Plus?" And she's like, "Why?" And I'm all like, "Yeah, I know, right?" She's like, "Is it like Neil Patrick Harris?" And I'm like, "No, it's going to be half Asian, half white, medical doctor." And she's like, "Isn't that racist and stereotypical?" And I'm like, Kinda. For one, I mean, having a background of being on Hawaii makes sense, right? Polynesian descent, all that stuff. I get that. There is a large Asian population on the state, or in the state, so it makes sense that reflecting that particular background would make sense there. But it also seems kind of stereotypical, because when you think of Asians and, well, education and being smarter than everybody else, that's not an uncommon stereotype. It's not true in every single situation, but it's also not uncommon. I mean, this pops up quite often in media, and coming in from Kourtney Kang, who went off from How I Met Your Mother to do Fresh Off the Boat, which was dealing with a lot of the cultural divide, makes a lot of sense that she would want to then tackle it once again, but this time rebooting a show from like 20 years ago versus something that is wholly new, like Fresh Off the Boat. Now, Fresh Off the Boat is what you might call like a fish out of water comedy, right? Which makes a lot of sense. It worked in that regard. The show's actually pretty funny, despite Constance Wu and that whole situation. But this just feels to me like it's kind of dumb. It feels to me like it's played out. Like, it feels to me that not only Kourtney, but Disney and ABC and Jake Kasdan, they could all effectively be better. They could come together to take something like this and tell the same. If they want to just reboot the story in a different way, give it a different name. Don't call her DOOGIE. Don't call it a reboot. Make it its own thing, because not only does it cheapen, I don't want to say it cheapens the original show, because it can't change anything about the original show. But it's also part of like pop culture, especially those of us who grew up in the 80s and 90s. And I think a lot of kids that this is going to be aimed at probably would want to see something new. And to them, it probably would be new. I just feel like Disney is making a pretty decent mistake here, because this is something that ultimately just comes across as pandering, and not in a good way. Although pandering is never a good way. I'm totally fine with a super genius, half Asian, half white, 16-year-old girl going off and breezing through college and taking over a particular field. That would be perfectly fine. Again, we've seen things like this before. It's not entirely uncommon. It's the DOOGIE HOWSER aspect of it that rubs me the wrong way, because it feels lazy. It just feels lazy. Nothing about it is original. Nothing about it is new. Nothing about it is unique. It just feels like a Control-C, Control-V rehash, and that's it. And I'd like to see more from someone who reinvented a lot of the sitcom comedy with How I Met Your Mother. I do think it reinvented quite a bit with that, and it did reinvent a bit with Fresh Off the Boat, which again, both of those were original concepts. Why go backwards? Why regress? Don't regress. We are in a global pandemic. Use this downtime to rework the show in order to make it something that is wholly unique to not only pop culture, entertainment, but that character, and not relying on stereotypes in order to sell the product. Because that's kind of what's happening here. Anyway, I'm sure I'll get a little bit of pushback like this in the comments. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt, and I'll still watch it. I'll see if it pops up, if it's any good. If it's good, I can easily go, hey, look, I was wrong. That's pretty funny. But at the same time, nothing about this to me screams, yay! Everything about this screams, nay. So there's that. Anyway, guys, your thoughts, your opinions, let me know down in the comments below. I'll talk to you all later. Have yourself a great day, and peace out.